Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It does not cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards. Use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we've got the Moon card. This is a sense of stepping into the unknown, right? And there might be some fear, there might be some trepidation. It might seem like the future is kind of dark right now, right? But this card also shows the promise of that sun rising, okay? Now, while we can never be 100% sure that the sun will rise in the next 24 hours or so, we can be 99.9% sure, right? So there is always going to be that element of mystery, that element of uncertainty and unknown in every move we make. But it's not a reason to hold back, right? We have to be that sun that is rising. That is us. We're bringing our light into this situation. And this card says that the future is uncertain and we're never going to know how something will turn out until we get there. You'll never know till you go, right? Let's put this into some context. Let's see what is going on. I do feel like you're kind of on the doorstep of something major here, all right? And this is, you're kind of right on the threshold of something. Let's see what else we've got. Oh, Lover's energy, okay. And the Star. Wow. Tower card too. Okay, and a Knight of Cups and a Five of Pentacles. Very interesting. We do have this sense of spiritual certainty, right? I feel like Spirit is trying to provide a confirmation for you, right? I feel like this is the reading that you're meant to see, okay? And I feel like you're kind of shocked by this. Here's that Tower energy that kind of is in like yesterday's energy. That shock is the shock of like suddenly realizing that we're on this threshold. Suddenly realizing that we're just about to make the biggest commitment of our life. Now, the Lover's card doesn't have to be romance. Doesn't mean marriage. Calm down, Sagittarius. It could. If that's what you're looking for, I think for some of you, maybe we are on the threshold of this really big commitment called marriage or partnership. Could be a business partnership. The Lover's card is all about the choice. And this is the certainty. You have to ask yourself, is this my destiny? Am I meant to walk through this doorway? If I step out into the unknown, am I stepping into my future, into my destiny? Right? And even the Five of Pentacles say this is kind of uncertain. You know, you can't see how things are going to change on the other side of this big choice. But if you feel that this is your destiny, if you've got this confirmation from Spirit, this Star card underneath here, this spiritual insight, this connection with the divine, this connection with your own divinity, I think this choice is a rather easy choice. But we do have, we've got the Tower and the Five of Pentacles on either side of us. It's kind of like you can't stay here. Maybe this is a rock and a hard place kind of situation. This past situation being the Tower, it's like Spirit was saying, I don't care where you go, buddy, but you can't stay here, right? So we kind of don't have a choice, although in all practical, for all practical purposes, we do, of course. We've got the Chariot card, got the Eight of Pentacles, a Four of Wands, and a Nine of Cups. Yes, this is kind of scary over here. This is making the biggest decision of your life, and it kind of came as a surprise. It's kind of like you were thrust into a situation. It kind of is has come as at a bit of a shock. But on the path of the serpent, we have dedication, we have patience, we have care, we have happiness. We have completion and prudence. We've got this idea of home, of kind of being protected, being where we belong. This, I think, is the confirmation that this is the best choice for you to make. That this is leading you into a very safe, stable, secure, abundant, and prosperous future. Right now it seems scary. Right now it seems like there is this crisis behind you. It's like it's just like literally behind you. It's just like all this chaos going on. You've got it. You're at the cliff, and you kind of have to decide: do I jump? What do I do? You know. And so it feels like it's very kind of frantic like that. Now, the one thing that I'm feeling with this star card is I do feel like you have an angel watching over you. I feel like you have always had this. I don't know if it's an angel, an ancestor, if it's a guardian angel or a spirit guide. But I feel like you've always had somebody like watching over you, like to where that you kind of like can see them and hear them, and you feel their presence quite often, I think. You have a very deep connection with the spirit realm. Now, I don't know if you have, if there's a relative that had passed. I'm kind of getting an older male energy. It could be dad, could be grandpa. Could be even more generations back. But I feel like it's a male energy. But I feel like they were very compassionate. They were a very expressive and loving kind of person. Yeah. That they were maybe a creative kind of person. I feel like they really gave a lot to their loved ones, to the community. Maybe it's somebody even that kind of like is kind of famous from history. You know what I mean? Somebody that really was a prominent figure in the town where you live or the country that you're in, or just, it's kind of like everybody knows their name, right? I feel like they are very much still connected with you. And they could be a Cancer person. We've got two cards here that are representing the Cancer type of energy, but we have a lot of other energy. We got a Pisces and a Gemini kind of energy too. It could be that you are perhaps going to be entering into some partnership with a Pisces person or someone that has a strong Pisces influence. But this is very much that uncertainty. And I think even moving into this situation, even saying yes to this, immediately, the first step you take, it's going to feel like you're stepping on like shaky ground. It's feel like you're jumping onto a moving platform here. That's a scary prospect, right? You're being asked to take this huge leap, but the platform you got to jump onto is just squiggling around like this. How could you possibly like land there, you know? I think you've got someone watching out for you. You do. And it's, in some ways we're being asked to trust. Yeah. But in some ways, this has to come from your certainty. Yeah. And I almost wonder if this ancestor, because I'm feeling this older male energy, I feel like they had a stroke or something with the brain, and it was kind of a sudden thing. I don't know if it's somebody that's a few generations back or if it's like a dad or grandpa. Yeah. But there's something with the head or the brain with them. Let's select the mystery card. Yeah. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're just going to set it down over here. We're going to put Mr. Ed right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. And that card will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. All right. If at any point during this tarot card reading you feel like you know what that mystery card is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. All right. Let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. You're here. Might as well put you to work. So we've got quite a bit of major arcana today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards. We've got a little bit of fire, got a little bit of water. Don't have any air, except we could kind of say that this star card is a little bit of that divine communication. This is what your mental energy needs to focus on right now, is just kind of staying quiet and perceiving the starlight, right? It's kind of the idea that your instinct and intuition will rise up from within you. We have some earth energy here and here. And now the earth energies are very interesting, because the 5 is very chaotic. It's it's variable, very variable. It's unstable, it's unsteady, right? It's that moving platform. It's like someone's asking you to jump and they're just like shaking the thing underneath you. Yeah. But then when we get to the 8 of Pentacles over here, this is kind of a nice sunny afternoon, right? Our life has been growing. This is almost like when we get to the future here, it's just like, now we've got that life, Now we've got that abundance, the blossoming of this thing. It's a very big contrast from over here. This feels chaotic. This feels tranquil. And it could be that we have to go through this kind of shocking difficulty, this rather quick and sudden, I don't know if maybe it's an ultimatum. I feel like you're stuck between kind of a rock and a hard place. I feel like there's a fire raging behind you, and your only choice really is to jump off that cliff, leap into the unknown. Yeah. So what is this tower energy for you? Well, this could be a type of spiritual breakthrough. Okay. It could be the sudden realization that you don't belong where you were. Whether this was a job, this was a place that you were living, a relationship that you were in. It could be the sudden realization, the sudden awakening of consciousness. Like suddenly it feels like you've been asleep for so long. Now you're awake, right? And now you realize that, or it feels this way anyway. It feels that things are happening very quickly and that things are urgent. When we have this kind of awakening, it does feel like we've got to do something right now today. Because we've been asleep for so long, now if we wake up, we feel that we're in the middle of this fire and we've got to leap. Yeah. I don't know if this is... This might be kind of just a perceived chaos. I don't know that it's actually this kind of thing for you, but it feels as if something was kind of out of your control here. Yeah. And we see this, especially in the past. It's like the reason we're on this cliff edge with this decision before us, and even the 5 of Pentacles could be we don't know what's at the bottom of this, the end of this cliff. We don't know what's down in that ravine, right? But something is not giving us much of a choice. Now, the Tower card could also be the disillusion of marriage. It could be that we have been let go or laid off from our job, right? This could be the sudden loss of that loved one. If this is a recent thing, it could be. Could be this older male energy has passed recently, and you have my condolences. If that's the case, I'm very, very sorry. I hope that's not the case. But it does seem like something happens suddenly, and you find yourself in this position that you have to make a choice now. And there's really no way of reasoning it out. We can't really look down into that ravine and see a good place to land, right? So when we talk about the Lover's energy, well, I don't think you're leaping right into another relationship. I think if we want to talk about that, you're getting out of a relationship. If you enter into another one right now, it's going to be unstable as well, right? So just these 3 cards, and then when we look, of course, at the 8 of Pentacles, it shows don't go straight from one disastrous relationship right into another one, because that's going to lead to the same kind of chaos and instability, right? What we need is caution, prudence, taking things slow, okay? And I think that message is meant for someone out there, yeah. Because I think all of you are meant to see this reading right now. For some of you, that's the message. This last relationship ended abruptly. Don't go jumping into another one. All right? If anything, the lover's energy is telling us to choose ourselves, to choose our purpose, to choose to commit, to dedicate ourselves to finding and fulfilling our purpose. And maybe that is in a relationship, maybe not. You know, maybe this is the idea that we get laid off from a particular job here, and we take this as kind of a forced adventure, right? And we leap into this darkness, but we end up finding that perfect relationship, that perfect other, the perfect job, the perfect the perfect opportunity, right? And I guess we can think about that romantically too. But the main key here is to be cautious and prudent and take things slow. Yes, you have to just you have to leap, right? But let's also be smart about it. You know, we don't have to just close our eyes and jump without any kind of planning, without any kind of skill. You know, we don't want to tumble down the hill there. You know, so with the Lover's card, we could be discovering at the end of this is kind of a dark tunnel, right? And we could be realizing at the end of that tunnel really is that perfect situation for us. Now, I know I just said that whole thing about don't just jump into the next relationship haphazardly. No, it has to be done cautiously and thoughtfully, right? At the same time, I feel like you're being placed in a situation where you have to make a decision now about something, right? And maybe the first decision is to really get away from whatever this tower is or was, right? But realizing that by getting out of this situation, you're allowing for this perfect situation, this perfect relationship to find you, for you to find it. Okay? So when we say we're jumping, we're taking that leap, we're venturing off into the unknown, that doesn't mean we're jumping into the next thing that comes along. That means we're accepting the inevitability of this, that this is coming down, that this is not there anymore, right? And what we're left with is kind of a dark shroud around us. If we trust in ourselves, trust in our own divinity, trust in spirit, trust in this guardian angel or spirit guide or ancestor, then we can be fairly certain, like I said, 99.9% certain, that the perfect partnership will come our way, that we will find something that is not only better, but it is the best. This is that perfect relationship, that soulmate situation, right? It could be romantic, yeah, it could be with a business thing, it could be finding that job, or, that location that you wanted. Whatever is being kind of taken away or removed is going to come back to you in a much better form, the best form, right? And that's the Lover's card too. The Lover's card is very complex. It is the choice. It is the commitment and the dedication. It is sometimes also that partnership. Yeah. It's us choosing what to be committed to. Okay. Now, the Knight of Cups up here, I think this is part of your ideal. You want to be in a situation that is reciprocating the energy that you're putting forth. See, the Knight of Cups is all about giving and receiving love and affection, giving and receiving our gift, giving and receiving from the heart. Yeah. And I think this represents that guardian angel or ancestor that we talked about, but I feel like this is how you want to exist as well. Okay? And this may very well be a romantic thing for a lot of you. Yeah. I feel like you have a lot to offer a situation, a person, a job, career, the world, right? You've got a lot to give, and I think you are eager to give that. But we have to be, especially when we see over on the path of the serpent, we have to be cautious and slow. We have to protect ourselves. Yeah. Because I feel like you are very much open and giving, but it does kind of, it makes it easier for other things to come in, right? Because you're so open. Your aura is very permeable right now. I think you're in an emotional place. I think the Tower card represents the kind of raw nerve that we're feeling right now. And so there is part of us that is kind of wants to just really actually, literally, jump into the very next thing that comes along so that we have what might feel like that comfort and security and safety and that ability to have that reciprocating, energy flow with the other thing or person or whatever. But I think your intuition, your instinct, this angel, this star, your own divinity, whatever we want to say, is guiding you. I think this is more of a guiding light than anything. And I think once we get to this future, let's not jump into anything right now. And I know I'm contradicting myself, and that's the point here. We're being asked to jump. We're being asked to leap. We're in a situation that feels like we have to take a really big leap. But let's not land in anything particular yet. You know what I mean? I know this is a contradiction. We're being asked to jump, but not land quite yet. Maybe the mystery card will be the Fool card, right? Maybe that can reconcile this kind of paradox that we're in. Because I think that in this case, we have to be very discerning with what we get into next. Okay? Because with the Five of Pentacles, we have the possibility of it being a very unstable situation too. But we really want that commitment. We're very capable of that commitment. I do think still you're on the threshold of a very big change in your life. But let's not do anything drastic. We don't see anything here that is impulsive, right? There's no impulsive energy. The Tower, is really that kind of, that big kind of abrupt moment. But otherwise, we can swim around in the infinite abyss a little bit, right? We can try to get our legs. We can try to find some steady ground before we start moving forward. We have to be pretty cautious here. Okay. Now, we're going to go to the path of the serpent. And as I do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it does help out the channel, and I do appreciate that. Yeah. Do you drink a lot of tea? I'm kind of tasting like a peppermint kind of thing. Is it like an herbal tea that you like to drink mostly? I feel like that has a very calming kind of energy for you. And I feel right now in this, coming off of this kind of situation, you're trying to really calm things down. And that's part of this Eight of Pentacles as well, is just trying to take that deep breath and realize that it feels like we're between that rock and that hard place. We do have to kind of, in a sense, close our eyes and just leap into the unknown. But at the same time, we're not committing to anything yet. If anything, we're committing to ourselves, which means I'm going to take my time before I commit to something else, right? So I feel like there's a lot of like herbal tea, like peppermint tea. Maybe you're drinking some now, I don't know. But let's talk about the Chariot card. This is, a lot of ways, this is self-protection. This is fortifying ourselves. Sometimes this is us putting a bit of a fence around our own being, our own soul, strengthening that aura. Yeah. Not making it so permeable. And I think that once we put this kind of armor on, well, we're ready to kind of explore this unknown darkness, right? To see kind of what's out there. And again, like I said, we have to be that sun. We have to be that sunshine that illumines this darkness. in order to see what is there and to see where we might want to like plant our feet. And I think all this happens really in an instant, right? You take you jump, you're in the air, and you're kind of trying to figure out where to put your feet as you're coming down. It feels perhaps like it's one split second, but it's being drawn out. You got time to have a cup of tea, read a book, and try to relax a little bit before you land. And I think obviously this is metaphor. But I think Spirit is trying to show you that you're going to land on your feet, right? Whatever the situation is, if it's romantic, if it's career, you're going to land on your feet. But we've got to try to have a little bit of a say in where our feet are going, where our feet are going to land, right? And so you've got this commitment and this obedience. This, I think, is to yourself, to your higher soul, to your star. There is a sense of your own destiny here. And I feel like this is also a card that's talking a bit about travel. It's a chariot after all, so it is mobile. It is kind of transportation. I feel like you're putting distance between yourself and whatever that tower situation was. If that was a bad relationship, if that was a bad breakup, bad employment situation, right? But the secret about the tower card is that we're much better off having gone through this. Because this event allowed us to see the truth and to speak the truth, right? And so we're in a better position now. It sucks when we're in it. But in hindsight, it really it's kind of strengthened you. That was the fire, and it helped to fortify your armor. Yeah. And really, it's the idea that if you've been through that situation, there's nothing you can't handle, right? And you're ready to go where your spirit takes you. Yeah. And really, with this card too, there might be a lot of travel involved here. Maybe you are literally putting distance between you and that situation. Maybe this is, one of those moments in life where you have to kind of pack your stuff and go on your own. Yeah. And you're prepared for that. You're ready for that. You're certainly strong enough for that. Yeah. There's a strong Cancer influence in the reading too, so I'm also getting this feeling of home. Maybe that was a home. Maybe you're off in search of the best one, the permanent home, the one, right? And maybe we thought that was home. Maybe it felt like home. And we want that feeling again. But we're going to be very careful where we look for it and where we find it and how we commit to it. We're going to make sure that it is the one. We're going to listen to our intuition, to our instinct here. I think your gut really does talk to you. I think when you are uncertain about something, I feel like you really get some butterflies, all right? But you know whether it's like butterflies, like you're excited, like this is good, or if it's just like you kind of got some gas or something where it's just like, this isn't good. Maybe it's like a queasy feeling versus a kind of an excited feeling. You got to listen to your gut, like in a very literal way. I think whatever your digestive system is doing is a strong indicator of like the nature of the situation, right? And I know maybe it sounds silly or it's gross or whatever, but I don't think so. I feel like we have to listen to our bodies. Especially our digestive system, because our gut is kind of like our second brain, right? And very often we kind of ignore what it's doing, or we try to, we take some, heartburn medicine or something so we don't feel it. This isn't a medical reading, obviously, but we do need to listen to that. Yeah, and incidentally, the Cancer energy, Cancer rules the stomach. And both of these cards are at the bottom of the paths. I feel like you literally do, like in a very real way. You get messages from your tummy, that kind of tells you what's what in a way that we may not be intellectually thinking about. Well, very interesting. Anyway, the eight, the Eight of Pentacles here. In the environment, it's caution. It's prudence. It's going slow. It's taking your time. It's dedication. This is knowing that your best life takes time to build. That we may be leaping out of this bad situation now, but what we are building, what we are committing to, is going to take time to really build it up properly. Okay? And with this card, the problem sometimes is that it feels like it's taking too long. Okay? This is tranquil. This is kind of going out in the evening every night, sitting on the porch with your tea, and just watching the plants grow. To me, it feels really nice. It feels like a good way to unwind at the end of the day. But we could start to question things. It could start to lead to even more of this instability, thinking, this is never going to grow. This is not going to be enough, right? What if this crop doesn't yield enough this season? I do feel that there's some sort of a connection with farming or agriculture or something with you plants, right? Growing vegetables or something, right? I don't know if you have a garden in your house or if you're from like some kind of farming area, but I feel like you know what I mean with that, like kind of watching the plants grow. And it's just like a day after day kind of tending to the garden and hoping that it gives you enough to eat come harvest time, right? And in a situation in life, it feels like this is dragging things out. It feels like it's taking so long. So what the Four of Wands does in this position, it acts as the bridge to our Nine of Cups. This is our real win. This is our happiness here. It bridges the gap, and this is by setting up incremental goals for yourself. Yeah. We want stability. See, this not stable, this not stable. This is stability in the making, right? This is us learning from past mistakes and applying those to the future. That's what agriculture is, right? Figuring out what works and what doesn't work when you're growing your crops. You know, tinkering with it to find out, like, okay, what did I do right last year? I'm going to do more of that. What did I do wrong last year? I'm going to do less of that. But the Four of Wands, this is us wanting to see that our will is manifesting. That what our intention in life is resulting in something, that we're doing something, that something is getting accomplished. So what this is in a very practical way is setting up incremental goals, step by step, stage by stage. You know, if you're rebuilding your life, if you're starting your own business, if you have to start a new career, maybe this is about you entering a new phase of life, right? Maybe that tower was like you're out of the workforce and now you're in retirement. Maybe this is you're out of school and you're getting kicked into the workforce, you know? It feels like it's an abrupt thing where you're just being thrust into something. Yeah. We've got to have stages. We've got to have these milestones. And it snowballs. We've got to see these little gains along the way to make us feel like, yeah, I'm on the right path. This is working. You know, set a really small goal for yourself. I'm going to walk 10 feet. You walk 10 feet. It seemed easy. You did it. And then say, okay, now I'm going to walk 20 feet. You know, or I'm going to save $20. The next month, I'm going to save $50. Yeah. Or if it's something about, you know, maybe it does have to do with a home. You know, maybe we want our forever home. Maybe this is something we're working our way toward. And we have to pay attention to those details. It's the Eight of Pentacles again. We have to put in that little bit of work every day to build this great life. Yeah. Or rebuild something. But I don't look at it as rebuilding. Right? Because if you rebuild, you're rebuilding what you had, right? And it has that connotation that we're kind of redoing something. No, we don't want to redo that. This is new. Yeah. So we have to put in a little bit of effort day after day. Consistency is key. It's not one big win. You don't go from 0 to 100 in one giant leap. You go incrementally. You can count by 5s, 10s, 20s if you want, right? The Nine of Cups is what you're after, your dream life. When you get here, this is the reassurance that what your gut was telling you is right on. What your spirit, your ancestor, guardian angel was telling you is right on. Yeah. Also, I'm getting a connection. Someone out there, I'm getting an Oslo, Norway connection. I don't know if maybe someone watching lives there, or there's something in Oslo, Norway is really resonating with you and with this reading right now. Okay. I don't know if you've met somebody there. I know some of you are watching from Norway, but there's a certain connection with Oslo, and I don't know how that relates to this. If maybe either that's where you are now, or that's where you're hoping to to end up. That's where you're hoping to land, right? Something like that. Anyway, the Nine of Cups is pursuit of happiness, following your bliss. This is happiness that keeps on happening. This is love that keeps on loving. This is bliss that keeps on blissing, right? The dream that keeps on dreaming. This is not the thing that makes you happy. This is you being happy doing the thing. It's not what you're doing. It's not the object that you're creating, but it's how you're creating it, how you're doing it, and why you're doing it. Well, we've got all this major arcana energy here. This is probably the worst thing, but also the best thing that's ever happened to you, because it's putting you on this path toward true happiness. Living a life that is, this is you. You could be anywhere doing anything with anyone, and you're going to just be in heaven, bliss. You're living your dream life, right? Even if we're still building this dream life, you're living the dream, right? But there's always something to build. Your dream life is not just suddenly you got everything you want. No, it's something that you're constantly working on and working toward. You're in the dream right now, and we're building it more and more. Thing about the dream is that we don't want it to end. A good dream, anyway. We don't want it to end. Maybe this wasn't the good dream. Maybe this was the bit of the nightmare. And Moon card is a card that talks about nightmares, right? Because this is that dark, unknown land where things seem frightening, right? Where things that might be ordinary in the light of day seem like scary monsters in our nightmare. Yeah. But this is that good dream, and we don't want it to end. So in your dream, you don't want it to end, you keep doing stuff. You keep building more. You keep pushing out the boundaries. Keep using your imagination. Think about the dream. Everything is possible in a dream, right? Everything. There's no laws. There's no physical laws of the universe. You can bend matter and distort time and space to your heart's content. You can do anything you want. And in magic, in manifestation, that power of imagination is so important. Some of us can do it in dreams. Those are the lucky ones that have the lucid dreams. The rest of us have to be content with doing it in our daydreams. But there's no limit to what you can do with your imagination. And so we take this dream, this good dream, we don't want it to end, so we keep thinking of ways that we can manifest it, that we can just keep pushing the boundaries of our reality in a very practical way. This is still the world where there are physical laws. There still is gravity and time and space and causality and all this kinds of theories and stuff. So we got to play by the rules, but we don't have to dream by the rules. Yeah. And so I feel like this is really, it's such a different energy now. You feel it? I feel over here on the path of the serpent, it's so ethereal. It's so, dreamy. Over here, it seemed chaotic. It seemed this was the bad dream. This was the good dream. These energies here are those divine connections that are leading you out of this nightmare into this very good dream. Okay. And even this Cancer energy, this Chariot card, this is about the border. This is about the fence. This is about the borderlands, right? The boundaries between what is real and what is not real. What is possible and what is not possible. What is for you, what's not for you. What's in the realm of your achievements, your potential and what's outside the realms of your potential. Eventually, we got to start building this fence out and out and out and out and out and out, as far as we can. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. I know this video is getting a little bit long. I kind of got carried away. I mean, we could get more water energy, I guess. I'd be happy with some more cups. I'd be happy with perhaps the art or temperance card, which is your power card, which would show us the kind of the blending together of kind of dreams and reality, you know? The intermingling of imagination and manifestation. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, another 9 of Cups. All right. Dreams and reality. Like I said, it's the dream that keeps on dreaming. It's not done, right? We're never done. We like it here in this good dream so much that we want to keep it going. Which over here, we may have felt kind of compelled to keep this going, like it was comfortable. We didn't want to lose that kind of thing, but it wasn't what we were really aspiring to. What we're really aspiring to is this life that just keeps on going. It just gets better and better. That we realize that there's no limit to our achievements, no limit to our attainments, to our potential, right? It's a dream that keeps on dreaming. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. It's the reading that keeps on reading. If you want to stick around for the extended, click up here in the corner, or there is a link down in the video description. All right. New readings for Sagittarius, Wednesdays and Sundays. All right. This was a bonus reading for you. But I'm here every day, 6 a.m. Chicago time. You can just come back, see me tomorrow. See me every day, right? I'll be here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Does not cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.